Going live. But I've still got bits in my teeth. So, Mark's eating his tea. And I've just literally finished mine.
Yeah.
Can you hear us? Is anybody there? Is anybody there? Type something, Mark, see if we're there.
I'm typing.
Oh, Christ. It's bloody hot now. I'm opening this window a minute. Ugh. That's just you. I don't know if they can hear us. I don't know if anybody's even there. I'm just going to shove this at my nose. Got a bit of an headache. We'll give it a few minutes. Oh, the numbers say there's a couple of people there, but I don't know if they're in or not. So, Mark's eating a fish pie.
Very nice.
We're all a bit Oh, hi, Brian!
Hi, Brian.
We're all a bit discombobulated today because it's been Mark's birthday and we got the family down, so we're all a little bit When aren't we discombobulated? Like I'm saying it as if it's not a usual thing.
More than normal.
So Mark's eating his tea.
So we're going to be a bit more abbreviated than previous.
Bit more abbreviated. Hi, Woody Black.
Hello, Woody Black.
A bit more abbreviated than usual. I think that means we're not going to be on as long.
Yeah.
Because we've got the family out there. Hopefully they'll make a guest appearance. But they're not as mental as us.
Connor's made the fish pie.
Connor made a fish pie. So, is it a birthday fish pie?
I'm claiming it as being a birthday fish pie.
It's a birthday fish pie. So, we are going to have a Star Wars quiz tonight. May the 4th be with you. I might say that again a bit later.
I always thought it was a bit... I was a bit annoyed that I didn't... My birthday wasn't actually on May the 4th. It was just one day earlier.
May the 3rd.
Because I was a big Star Wars fan when I was a kid.
May the 3rd be with you. It's not quite the same.
It would have... Well, no, it would have probably had to been my birthday that was on a different day because it wouldn't have worked otherwise.
Yes, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to have indigestion a bit now.
Well, we've been literally eating fish pie quickly. So we will... we've got some bad news.
Oh, Christ.
We've got some bad news.
Yeah.
Brace yourselves. There's been a death in the family. There's been a death in the family. Uh-oh. It's a sad day.
It's made to withstand aggressive toddlers.
But it lasted 6 minutes with us.
Yeah.
So he'll change his batteries and he's not having it. No. So that's one for the dustbin. But we do have... I only realised that didn't... Because when it broke down... I know Brian's gutted. But we got a backup. Because of course we have. Because why wouldn't we have lots of children's toys in a non-Jimmy Savile way? We've got a backup, which I don't understand how to use because it's an actual microphone. It looks dodgy as hell, doesn't it? Connor gave us this. Somebody gave it to him for a Secret Santa or something. And it's a recorder, so you do stupid things and record into it and it plays it back. But that's going to have to do. So that's going to have to do. Because there's been a death in the family. So the quiz tonight is all about Star Wars. I basically nicked this one off the internet. So, and some of the words I won't be able to say. So I'll have to get you to say some of the words. Some of the
I probably won't be able to send them.
Some of the geeky words. So we are... Oh, hi, Ben. Hi. Ben. Mark's having his tea. It was his birthday yesterday, so we're all a bit discombobulated. We're rambling on like this just to wait to see if anybody else is going to come in to start the quiz. DJ.
Hey, DJ.
So we did a little poll, and
we could do another poll now, really, because maybe not all the people that are in the chat.
Well, unanimously, no, we go by the polls rules, Mark. You don't do a poll and then do like a secret one and add it on. That's not how it works. We go by the poll. We agreed with the poll. What is the matter with you?
Well, no, I'm not in a disagreement.
So we agreed with the poll that going forwards, Mark's going to do his talk before the quiz. So that we'll do the talk and then the quiz. And I think that makes sense because then we won't all fall asleep. Oh,
Including-
hold on.
including me.
There's been a knock at the door. Come forth. Hello. Yeah. Oh,
Hello.
it's our
Here's the
Connor.
chef.
Right.
Hi, Connor. Oh, what have you got there, Connor?
There's
Bit
a special
close.
delivery from
A
Mark.
special delivery for Mark.
Oh.
Special delivery for our Mark.
Oh. Oh.
Got
It's
the
live on air.
Oh Christ. Oh right.
There was a live.
Oh, this is
Oh,
exciting, isn't it?
Mark, there's a special delivery.
Oh.
It's a special delivery. Who's this from?
Oh, that's exciting. There's a bee.
Hello.
Oh.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, I love the chat box. Ah, isn't that lovely? Thanks, everybody.
So we had a really nice email from somebody. I'll send you later, Mark.
Ah,
Somebody in the chat box.
Hi,
Yeah.
everyone.
Somebody in the chat box sent us a really lovely email and said, please get Mark a card and
Ah.
sign it on behalf of everybody in the chat box.
ah, they're all here.
Oh.
Isn't that lovely?
Thank you all.
So thank you all.
Yeah,
And it's Mark's favourite thing. It's a beehive.
yeah.
Can't see. Yay! One,
Oh, I
two,
felt
three.
emotional.
Get your emojis to the ready.
Right.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mark. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank
Look,
you,
you've got some
everybody.
birthday emojis and
Oh,
a card
lovely.
from the chat box. Thank you,
Beautiful.
the chat box.
Thank you, chat
I
box.
put the chat. Would you like to read it out for the lovely people? That bit, Mark.
Right.
we-
To Mark,
To Mark.
happy birthday. You're not as funny as Liz. Love the chat
That's
box.
rude from the chat box.
Different styles of humour.
Probably
Yeah.
true. Probably true.
That's-
Fair,
that's,
fair enough.
That's rude from the chat box.
But to be fair, that's
How
probably
lovely
right.
is that?
It's lovely. Thank you
And
very
you've
much.
all signed your names.
Yeah, it's
Not
brilliant.
sure how you did that.
Amazing he did that
All your
virtually.
names are in there.
No,
I
Brilliant.
Good one.
It's the
Hey.
wonders of.
Quite a good one for you.
I've got more than one good one.
Oh.
So make sure you lot come in here in a minute and be part of this. So the family are going to be part of this in a
Do
minute.
you want some more fish pie?
We can't eat. We're doing.
No,
why do you only ask Mark if you want some? Why do you ask me if I want some?
I probably won't because it's so amazing, but maybe later.
Right.
But I'll otherwise I'll have indigestion.
Right. Thanks,
Thank you,
Con.
Connor.
Thank you, the chat box. In fact,
Thank you, the chat
the
box,
chat box,
for the card. It
the
was lovely.
kind,
Very thoughtful.
lovely email. And I'll forward it to you later. It was lovely.
Oh, thank you.
Right. Let's get on with it, Liz. Okie dokie. Well, I've only been rambling for 8 minutes. That's not too bad.
Good for you.
So, guys, the poll unanimously voted. Well, one person said they wanted it the opposite way, but they didn't vote. So, it's 100%. We are going to be doing the talk, then the quiz going forwards. But today we're just going to do the quiz and the talk because then I can put my feet up.
Yeah, and the talk's not.
Oh yeah, talk about the talk.
Well,
This is a talk.
it's just an apology and
You have to apologise, Mark. It's your birthday.
yeah. Anyway, so yeah, basically, it's not going to be to the extent of recent talks. It's going to be just a much shorter, just few little ramblings, jottings, and thoughts, and going to just throw out there really to see what people think. But yeah, pre-talk talk. What do you?
Talk.
Yeah, but yeah, I just wanted to hands up. It's not going to be big extensive one like some of the previous ones, but yeah, because it's great to have you all here on my birthday weekend.
Yeah. That's the only friends we have had, right? Right, so let's do a quiz.
A wee chat, Margaret. Quite right.
Move over here a little bit.
Right.
Right, so it's a Star Wars quiz, and even though I love Star Wars, I don't know a lot about it, so I just copied this one off the internet. So may the 4th be with you, everybody, and fingers on your buzzers, please. So seriously, don't worry about if you don't know any of these, just guess. Don't forget, just type it as quickly as you can. Don't worry about writing the whole bloody lot out. This is about Star Wars, and I don't really know any of these.
Ben's got his hands on his lightsaber.
Oh, Christ. Ben, it's not that kind of bloody live stream. Dear hell. We'll save that for Rumble. Right. Number 1, Star Wars quiz. What is the name of the protocol droid who first approaches the 2 Jedi in the opening scene of Episode 1? TC-14, C-3PO, R2-D2, D4TI. So just write anything random. You could be typing them because otherwise. Anyway, we've got a new one of these, everybody, because the other one broke. It's not bad. I'll be all right. You'll have to tell me when everybody's done. It's literally like 1982, isn't it?
Well, we've had a few answers in there.
I like that one. It just shuts up by itself.
Hmm.
I think I prefer it. Right. Who was the first with TC14?
Woody Black just pops in just before you said it.
Well, it's just before I said it.
Yeah.
Oh, well done, Woody Black. Now,
Well done.
this is going to sort out the nerds from the boys,
Mhm.
the geeks from the girls. Well done, Woody. I wouldn't have had a fucking clue. Brilliant. TC14 is a silver feminine model of C3PO. Oh, it's nice, isn't it? Well done, Woody. Right, number 2. What is the name of the life forms that embody the Force? I might not be able to say most of this right, mind. Ewoks.
That's good. It's bloody AI taking over.
When
It's
I
got his
talk,
money-
it does that. Shut up.
Oh, blimey.
Okay. What is the name of the life forms that embody the Force? Ewoks, the Sith, Wookiees, midi-chlorians. You might need to write that out. I don't know.
I think they're all
The
blonde.
Sith, Wookiees, Ewoks, midi-chlorians. Christ. That's cute, this one. I like this one. Turn it off. Has everybody got their answers in, Mark? Because I can't see from over here. I'm going to have a look on my phone, I reckon.
Yeah. There's loads of answers in.
Brilliant. So, who was the first with midi-chlorians, Mark?
DJ just beat
Oh,
Gary to it.
Oh, hi, Gary. Well done, DJ. Oh, Gary, he knows a thing or two about bloody films, that, mind.
Green Tea singing the song.
Of course she is. Hi, Green Tea. Didn't know she was in here, mind.
Oh yeah. Got full house, I think.
So, who won this one?
DJ.
Oh, Ben. Do you want to put money on that, Ben? Ben, are you coming in strong with that? Gary will win this. Oh, he's a betting man, is our Ben.
Well, I know Gary is a bit of a Star Wars expert.
Well, Ben, you didn't win the lard eating competition this year, did you? So you need to pull your finger out. What are we doing?
I'm
doing a quiz, aren't we?
Go for it, Gary. I think all competition's fair.
Right. Anakin, I thought this was quite interesting, actually. This reminds me of June, actually. This, I don't know why, because they got bits of stuff in them. Eh?
Oh, yeah.
But maybe I'm wrong.
True, yeah.
Anakin was thought to be conceived by the midi-chlorians, giving him the highest midi count ever recorded, even higher than Yoda. And now I thought it was quite interesting. In the Star Wars universe, midi-chlorians are microscopic life forms that live symbiotically inside the cells of all living things. They are responsible for connecting living beings to the Force, a metaphysical energy that surrounds and binds the galaxy together. The midi-chlorians continually speak to us, telling us the will of the Force. I thought that was quite interesting. I didn't know that.
No,
I didn't know a lot, to be honest.
I think there might have been something around that where someone mentioned in one of the books I was reading, or that it's similar to Rupert Sheldrake's ideas. You know that.
Yeah. Right. Number 3. The Republic is represented and holds power on the planet of Tatooine. True or false? The Republic is represented and holds power on the planet of Tatooine. True or false? Can't believe I know how to say that. Bomb. We should have Star Wars tune, but they'd probably sue us, Mark.
Yeah, probably get the
That's it. Right. Okay. The answer is who was first with false mark?
That was Gary Robinson.
Oh,
just beat DJ. There was a bit of a
bloody
face
hell.
off there.
There's going to be a.
In fact, Gary Robinson was so sure he typed it twice.
There's going to be a fucking fight in that chat box tonight. I tell you. So false. Tatooine is ruled by the Hutts, a large family of gamblers and racketeers. Blimey. Sounds like Melcham at the bloody road. Right. Number 4. In the first trilogy, who is... Now, don't forget, you don't have to write the whole sentence. In the first trilogy, who is Wedge? The Emperor's servant, King of the Ewoks, a fighter pilot for the rebels, Luke's uncle. Who is the Wedge? Emperor's servant, King of the Ewoks, fighter pilot for the rebels, Luke's uncle. Oh, I found a new song, babe. I found a new song.
That's nice.
That's nice, isn't it, babe?
Yeah,
That's
I
nice.
like it, yeah.
I got a birthday song.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I like this one. It's growing on me. The other one died of death. Very sad. That's nice, isn't it, babe?
Yeah.
Right. I think.
Yeah, there's been lots of answers in there.
God. Gary says he's not going to win this tonight because I can't type for shit. And he's not even pissed. Right. So answer is... Oh, Margaret, fast typing tonight. I know.
Yeah.
A fighter pilot for the rebels.
Right. And that was Woody, I believe. Was
Well
the
done,
first one with
Woody.
that.
Well done, Woody. It's because they're all Star Wars fans, Margaret. They're a bit mad.
Well, Margaret got the right answer as well.
Well
but,
done, Margaret.
But just beating to it. But lots of people got that one. I remember when.
Can they hear you? Can you hear Mark, even though I've got the mic over here? Can you still hear him? Bloody hell. What do you remember?
Yeah, no. When I was a kid and the first Star Wars film came out, and I used to play like games with my friends, and pretending to be the characters, and I was Wedge, and we used to do our own.
You were
little,
Wedge,
we
really?
used to do our own little adventures, like our own little stories, amongst us.
Should we tell them
Yes,
about your little...
No.
Okay. Secrets.
Yeah.
They want to know now.
No.
I got a secret about Mark and Luke Skywalker. Or was it Han Solo?
No, I'm not saying.
Was it Han Solo? I've got him in there.
Yeah.
Was it Luke Skywalker or Han Solo?
Well, it's been all
Just
of
tell me
it.
which one. I won't tell him what it is, but just tell me who it was. It was all of them.
Yeah, it's at one time or another.
I know a secret about Mark, and
It's like an imaginary friends type thing.
he had an imaginary
Anyway,
friend.
Moving on.
I just...
All right.
Oh, he's banging his
Yeah,
pen.
I'm embarrassed. Come
Don't
on,
be embarrassed. It's fun.
Move on.
Right. So Wedge is a pilot along with another very important character. Hey?
Hey?
I don't know. I got this off the internet. I didn't even fact check it. I don't know what that means. Number 5. What is Luke's aunt's name? Luke's aunt. What's her name? Now, I might not say this right. Tima, Lana, Beru, Pelu, or Pilu. Write it down, babe. Every time I say that, you
By
never
the time I've written it down, people are already
They
answering.
know it, don't they?
Yeah, I don't think.
Tima, Lana, Beru, Pelu. We should write it down.
They're already answering.
Tima, Lana, Beru, Pelu. Pelu. I don't bloody know.
He was in Wet, wasn't he? Marty Pellet.
Yeah, he was. Next time, you bloody write him down, mate.
No, they've already written the
Oh,
answer.
you'll do as you're bloody told.
Do you think I can write
Yeah,
four
but this
answers
next
down?
one is really complicated. Right, has everybody got it? Is everybody in?
Yeah. There's lots of answers.
Aunt Skywalker. Give him a point. Bloody humour. Oh, Woody don't know that one. Right, so who was... Is everybody in? Who was the first one with Beru or Beru?
That will be DJ.
Oh, well done, DJ.
Well
Beru.
done, DJ.
Beru. Right. Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru or Beru are murdered by Imperial forces towards the beginning of episode 4. Oh,
It's a very sad moment.
very sad.
Yeah.
It was sad.
Mm.
But that's where he got his anger from.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know why it does that. So, this next one you're going to have to really think about because it's complicated. What does AT stand for? Air Transport Attack Troops, Anti-Terrorist Attack Techniques. That's why you should be writing it. Ammo-tipped Army Tanks, All-Terrain Armoured Transport. So basically, is it troops, techniques, tanks, or transport? AT. Is it troops, techniques, tanks, or transport? That's a difficult one. Troops, techniques, tanks, or transport? Fuck news.
Well, the answers are already steaming in.
Armoured trans, it won't be long, Woody. It won't be bloody long. Can I just recommend, while we're on the subject of trans, Blair White? I haven't been very well the last few days. Fucking new. And I've been binge watching Blair White, and she's got her head screwed on. And I call her her, even though she's trans, and I'm usually a bit fucking of a bitch about that, because I got respect for her. Blair White, all the way. She's got her head screwed on, that girl. I just recommend her. There you go. Right. So, who was first with all-terrain armoured transport? Mark? Who said transport? So all-terrain. Woody said all-terrain. So did Gary. Oh, hold on. All-terrain armoured transport. Gary said terrain first, and it was a mouthful for everybody to remember.
Yeah, Gary Robinson put
terrain
attack vehicles.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It would have been a bit of a mouthful to remember it was transport. So I think Gary got that one above Woody.
Right. Yeah. It's a tight old contest.
She don't remind me of Cosmic Claire, Ben. You're not talking about looks, are you? Right, moving on. The AT-ATs destroyed a large number of rebel forces and bases at the Battle of Hoth in episode 5. I don't know what most of those words mean, but I know you do. Right. Number 7.
Oh no, Gary's saying he got it wrong.
Oh, he got it wrong. Hey,
Gary's
you
saying
said armoured.
Well,
Big four-legged things. Are you talking about Blair and Claire?
Woody likes Blair.
Oh, she's bloody great. I got respect.
Well, in that case, if Gary's
if Gary says he's got it wrong,
on that one, then
Woody
it goes to Woody. That's very magnanimous of you, Gary.
Well done, Gary. I would have kept my mouth shut about that.
Great honesty.
Very, very honest. He's pedantic. Whereas I would have just take the point and run with it. Right, number 7. What is Han Solo's home planet? Naboo, Endor, Akbar, Corellia. Sorry if I said it wrong. Naboo, Endor, Akbar, Corellia. Sorry if I said it wrong. Han Solo's home planet. Naboo, Endor, Akbar, Corellia. Did I say that right?
Yeah, will do. Oh, Israel's in.
Israel's in. Hi, Israel. Another great video by Israel.
Yeah.
Right. Has everybody had their answer in?
Lots of answers in, yeah.
Who was first with Corellia, Mark?
It was DJ, the great man.
Well done, DJ. I don't know if I'm saying these right, so apologies. Han's ship, the Millennium Falcon, is Corellian.
Oh.
So many words, so little knowledge. Number 8. Where does Boba Fett supposedly die? Swamps of Dagobah, Pit of Carcoon, Lars Homestead, Death Star 2. Boba Fett, where does he supposedly die? Swamps of Dagobah, Pit of Carcoon, Lars Homestead, Death Star 2. Quite like that. Gary said he did escape thanks to Disney. Right. Has everybody got their answer in?
Well, there was quite a few answers in.
Got a few answers in. Did anybody say the Pit of Carcoon, Mark? Lots of people did. They all did.
Gary was first with that.
Well done, Gary. Oh, he'll just tell us he wasn't in a minute.
But then there was then Ben said no, he escaped. So that was when there was the Disney 2. So what I'm presuming is,
well, it does say supposedly die here.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Yeah, they got away
Pit
with
of
that.
Carcoon.
Yeah.
Rumour has it that Boba Fett miraculously escapes a treacherous Sarlacc and goes on to live after Return of the Jedi. Right, number 9.
Right, so Gary got that one.
Gary got that one. Oh, just to tell everybody who wasn't here just a minute ago, this is going to be a quicker version because it was Mark's birthday yesterday and we got the fam down. It just gets involved.
Yeah, we'll take the round with us everywhere we go, really, and just have a little.
So
theme
Mark's
tune.
talk is going to be kind of like just a bullet point. We're more than a bullet point, but
I'll
we're
still ramble and waffle on, but
Well, I'll
it's
walk
not
off.
going to be as long a waffle as normally.
not going to be on as long because
Not
we
as
got
in-depth.
family.
Not as in depth, but anyway,
Yeah.
a few ideas thrown out.
Where does Queen Amidala live in episode 1? Theed Palace, Mos Espa, Yavin 4, the Dune Sea. Queen Amidala, Theed Palace, Mos Espa, Yavin 4, the Dune Sea. There we go. Who was the first one with Theed Palace or just Theed or just Palace, Mark?
Israel Diego Rivera.
Well done,
just
Israel.
had a DJ, well done.
I don't like saying well done, Israel. I'm gonna say Diego. I feel a bit conflicted.
Yeah.
Well done, Diego. We've got to try and call him that because otherwise I get a bit of a headache. Right. It says here, if you missed this, go watch it again. Oh, I don't bloody know. Like I say, I completely and utterly stole this off the internet. I didn't check it. I didn't do nothing. Because this is just for Happy May the 4th be with you, everybody. Right, number 10. What weapon does Lando Calrissian? Who? I need a dweeb.
No.
What weapon does
Lando Calrissian?
What weapon does Lando Calrissian use in Jabba's palace? A Colt 45, a blaster, a lightsaber, a vibro axe. Lando Calrissian, Jabba's palace. Does it use a Colt 45, a blaster, a lightsaber, a vibro axe? Right. Who was the first with vibro axe, Mark?
That was Diego Rivera.
Diego, yeah, let's call him that. It's better than just saying well done, Israel. Well done,
again.
Diego. Woo!
Yeah.
Well done. While trying to free his friends from the clutch of Jabba, Lando uses a vibro axe in order not to blow his cover. I don't know what that means. Number 11. Who is the Imperial commander of the Death Star? Who is the Imperial commander of the Death Star? General Crix Madine, Rune Hako, Grand Moff Tarkin, Admiral Piet, fuck knows, General Crix Madine, Rune Hako, Grand Moff Tarkin. Oh, I forgot to do this.
Mm.
Admiral Piet.
Green tea but muffins.
Good.
Is that what you're having for lunch? I suppose lunchtime for you.
No, I
green tea?
think that's her answer.
Yeah.
Right. Who put Grand Moff Tarkin?
So DJ was first with that one, very quick off the bat, and yes,
Well done.
just beat Gary and Woody. Ben got it as well. So yeah,
Peter Cushing. Oh,
Peter
was that the
Cushing
one
was the
Peter
actor, yeah.
Cushing played?
yeah, he was.
He looked terrifying in that.
He was horror film
Well, he was.
expert, wasn't he? He was
So
perfect for
yes, Grand Moff goes boom
Mm.
at the end of episode 4. They're doing it in Roman
then
numerals,
they-
so I got
they-
to do my brain. And
wasn't
then they
it-
brought him back to life with CGI, didn't they?
Yeah, was that on Rogue One? Was it the spin-off? One of the spin-off ones, I think.
Well, he was.
I'll be
Wasn't he one
corrected.
of the first AI ones they did in a film? Have I just made that
That
up?
sounds about right.
Might have made it up.
Yeah, it was Rogue One. Thanks, Gary.
I do make things up. Right.
Oh, hi, Maury.
Hi, Mari. Mari, we've got some bad news. Dead. But Mari, we've got some good news. Alive. Dead. Mark's birthday.
It's arisen. I didn't kill the. It was nothing to do with the birthday.
Israel and Mari might not realise, but give me the card. Somebody very kind sent me an email. Oh, stop calling him Israel. I want to call him Diego because I prefer that word. Sent us
Cheers,
an
Gary.
email in the week saying, get us a card for Mark. Actually, it was Brian. I'm just going to say thank you, Brian.
Thank you,
Brian sent me an email saying, get Mark a card for his bloody birthday from all the chat box. So you guys,
Thank you very much,
you
everybody.
might not have realised it, but you signed the card for Mark. So thank you, the chat box. This is for all the people that didn't know, right? Because
Yeah.
it's his birthday
Thank
yesterday.
you very much. Thank
Yeah.
you, Maury. Thank you,
So
everybody.
thank you for
Thanks,
the
Gary.
thank you for the card.
Yeah.
Right. What kind of droid is R2D2? IG-88, Astromech, Interrogator Droid, 7JN Droid. IG-88, Astromech, Interrogator Droid, JN Droid. God. I'll be glad when we get back to bloody conspiracy theories at this rate. Paranormal. Oh, me back. It's all right, this.
It's all right.
What we'll have to do.
Yeah, it's all right.
Right. So, has everybody had a go? Everybody. What's the point of me doing this if I then just wait for people? The answer, who was the first with Astromech, Mark?
What did he put?
I do-
Astrobot. I mean, that's basically
Yeah,
what it-
Astro.
We got the Astro bit.
I've got this up my nose because I've got a bit of an headache.
Yeah.
I'm sniffing it
Woody
later.
just beat Gary and DJ and Brian and Margaret. Yeah, there was lots of right answers.
Oh, well done,
already.
everybody.
But yeah,
I don't have any words for that one.
we'll go for Woody.
Right. 13. When fleeing from Imperial ships through an asteroid shower, where does Han Solo hide his ship? Jundland Wastes, Echo Base, or a space slug, or Bespin? Fucking hell. Where does Han Solo hide his ship? Jundland Wastes, Echo Base, Bespin, or a space slug? What did you say now? That's wrong. Give it to Gary.
Yeah, everyone's been very magnanimous in the chat, so we've had to switch around again.
Shove magnanimous.
That sounds like a character in Star Wars.
Right. Anybody come up with space slug, Mark?
Oh, Mari.
Oh, Mari.
Mari's a slug. Yeah,
Mari's a slug?
No, certainly not a slug. But
Outrageous.
Mari just beat Diego Rivera to it.
Well done, Mari.
Yeah, well done.
Oh, yeah. Diogo got slug. Space slugs here inside asteroids and almost got a free meal. I didn't write this, okay? I copied and pasted it and then couldn't be bothered to read it. So some of this don't make sense. But Hans saved the day once again. Oh, for God's sake. I think a 13-year-old wrote this. Space slug. What becomes of Yoda after the rise of the evil Darth Vader? What becomes of Yoda after the evil rise of Darth Vader? He becomes a hermit. He starts a family. He turns to the dark side. He trains Han Solo. Does he become a hermit, start a family, turn to the dark side, and train Han Solo when Darth Vader comes along? Quite like that bit. Right. Who was the first one with hermit, Mark?
Woody again.
Well done, Woody.
just
Oh,
beat
he's
Gary.
probably going to give it to Gary or something, or give it to Blue. No, you lot. I cheat at everything, so don't worry about that. Well done, Woody.
Yeah, but lots of right answers on that one.
Give it to Ben. Ben never even bloody answered. Ben's probably on bloody Vino again, having a snooze. Right.
Oh,
What?
was Gary first with that? Oh,
No, it was Woody.
yeah. You're messing
Mark.
with my mind now.
15. Who was the actor who played Anakin? My back. In episode 2 and episode 3. Who played Anakin? Leonardo DiCaprio, Hayden Christensen, Jake Lloyd, Ian McDonald. Leonardo DiCaprio, Hayden Christensen, Jake Lloyd, Ian McDiarmid or something. I think you either know this one or you don't. I know, Ben. He was dozing. Are you on the bloody Vino again? Right. Anybody say Hayden Christensen?
Yeah, quite a few people got that.
Everybody by the
one,
looks of it.
And Gary was first on this occasion, and it is showing on our screen as being your first this one.
Oh, is it? Hold on. So Gary says on my screen it shows him first.
Yeah, that's a strange one.
Oh, I hate it when it starts doing this.
Well, yeah. What can you do? We can only do it from habit. Anyway.
Yeah.
Everyone's very good natured.
So on my phone and on Mark's computer, two things. It says the last one, Woody was first. What about everybody else? Hermit, have a look to see what it says on yours, because on ours it says Woody, doesn't it? Go on, have a little look back, everybody. Who said Hermit first on your situation? No, they're not having 1 point each, Green. We're not doing that again. Says Gary on Margaret's.
Oh, blimey.
I know.
Well, we might have to do a one each then.
I don't know. Hold on. Let's see what everybody else says. Come on, everybody. We've got one for Gary. It says Woody on Brian's. Right, yeah, we are going to have to give them one each. Green's right.
Right.
Why has it done that?
Right. Oh, God.
Gary said no points each.
Yeah.
No, we're going to give you both a point each. Woody, Gary. Oh, more people say Gary, to be fair. Even on Woody's, it says Gary. Put Gary on because, yeah, Woody should know. Bloody hell. Why is it doing that then? Never mind. Well done, Gary.
Yeah.
So take one off Woody and put it on Gary. Right. Who was first with Hayden? Christ, that was probably 25 minutes ago. How are we going to find that? Let them tell us who was first with Hayden.
No, that was Gary.
Gary got Hayden.
Yeah.
Thank Christ for that. We're not just giving it to Ben. He's getting drunk and sleeping. Ben ain't having nothing. I tell you. Right. Number 16. Well done, Gary. Was that Gary?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Number 16. How does the Millennium Falcon evade the tractor beams at the end of The Empire Strikes Back? How does a Millennium Then this is a lot of waffle, this answers. How does a Millennium Falcon evade the tractor beams at the end of The Empire Strikes Back? R2-D2 fixes the hyperdrive. I remember this, actually. The Lieutenant Colonel under Vader forgets to use full power. Chewbacca disobeys Han Solo and hits the right button. Vader lets him get away on purpose. R2-D2 fixes the hyperdrive. Some lieutenant doesn't do something. Chewbacca doesn't do something. Vader lets him get away on purpose. I think it's an obvious one, this. I think it's a cute scene, this. Isn't it? It's a cute scene, this one. Yep. So, who put R2-D2 fixes the hyperdrive? I like that. That's the one where he's like got his own little and they stick him in it. I like it. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda.
Rewind about the card. I can't keep bloody saying it. There's a card and it's from the chat box.
Thank you for the
Thank
card,
you, Linda, that you didn't even know you sent.
Diego was the first with R2-D2.
Well done,
Just
Diego.
ahead of Mari.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And yeah.
Margaret's losing again. You're not losing as bad as Linda, though, Margaret. Right. Oh, do we tell them about our almost big decision? No, because it probably won't happen, will it?
No.
Oh, it might happen.
Yeah.
Is it going to happen?
Yeah.
We might have an almost big decision. We're not having a baby. Do we tell them about our almost big decision or not?
Oh, yeah.
Should we?
Yeah.
What if everybody changes their mind?
Okay,
Oh,
well,
we've
then
got an almost big decision.
Well, then we make another we never make a big announcement that we've changed our minds.
Okay, we are how much percentage more closer than we've ever been?
Oh, I think sounds quite positive.
10% more or 90% more?
Closer to 90, I think.
We're 90% closer to moving to Glastonbury than we've ever been. And that's my dream. Do we tell them why or not? We don't need to tell them what.
No.
Don't tell them why. No. That's
Anyway, but
personal.
yeah. Good, anyway.
We it's my dream, and we're more closer than we've ever been. We've even got somebody coming round on Tuesday to value this house. That's very close, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yep.
I don't know why I just said that.
Yep.
You have to come and visit us. We're not there yet. Right. So R2-D2 is actually the unheralded hero of all the movies. He has no ego, however, like his friend C-3PO. I didn't write this, so that's boring nonsense that I didn't write. 17. What does Yoda tell Anakin in Episode 1 is the path to the dark side? What does Yoda tell Anakin in Episode 1 is the path to the dark side? Anger, suffering, hate, fear.
Thanks, Brian.
Anger, suffering, hate, fear.
Would he put cake? nothing bad can come from that. That can't be the path to evil.
It's true, though. Oh, yeah, you could put happiness, bloody hell. Right. Did anybody put fear?
Yes, and Gary will be pleased to know that he's showing us first on our chat, on my chat. Here.
No, we're going to get Margaret saying, actually, I was first. So
yeah.
Now I looked this up
Gary.
because I thought it was I thought it was anger. So I even Googled this.
I probably would have gone for anger.
But it makes sense because Yoda says, see, this makes sense. Yoda, because I even said it at the very beginning. I said this was why Anakin was pissed off because his parents got killed. No, it doesn't make sense because he was angry. No, that's why I Googled this. Yoda says this to Anakin when he is first brought to the Jedi Council in episode 1.
Fairly, yeah, as Gary's saying, sorry.
Anakin's thoughts were all on his mother, and he felt that it had nothing to do with learning about the Force. Yoda told him it had everything to do with the Force. I don't think that's right.
Well, Gary's put fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate.
And that's probably what this is supposed to say. But yeah, I did Google that one. So well done, Gary.
Yeah, Woody's a huge fan. Yeah, me. I mean, I guess it was the first three for me were blew my mind, and I loved them as a kid. But I guess there was such a long gap to the next ones. I was a lot older, and I think like a lot of people who so in love with the first three,
Yeah.
that the prequels didn't.
They didn't quite.
They
They
disappointed.
Yeah, they did.
But
And when they say number one, I always think of the. It's, you know. What I
well,
mean?
yeah. Again, that's a generation thing, isn't it?
Green Tea said, the last few years have taught us a lot about fear. Do you know what they've taught me? And this is only literally probably in the last month. Fuck it. Genuinely, fuck it. They're trying to scare us with World War III. Oh my God. It comes to a point where what can you worry about? You can only worry about what's on your plate, can't you?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's try and not let them put that fear on you, not succumb to it. And
I'm very succumbable to fear, but I had this kind of like existential out of body kind of a funny 5 minutes where I was like, I was literally looking at it from above, if you know what I mean. And I was literally like, what a load of nonsense. When you try and actually visualize yourself, not in your room, not even on the planet, but just like I was literally imagining all of the rest of it. And I was like, what's the point in being scared of that nonsense? Do you know what I mean? I'm not explaining it very well, but I had a real kind of epiphany where I was like, it's pathetic. It is pathetic.
Well, I think people agreeing with you, really. Yeah? Margaret's 100% with Liz. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
Brian, raise your vibration above their fear.
Stick their walls where the sun don't shine.
Yeah, that's from Mari. And yeah, so I think,
fuck it.
Yeah.
That's why we started these live streams, because we wanted to, we call it have fun in the madness or something. Because that's all you can do, innit? All you can do is just get through it without worrying. And this is kind of us coming together and helping each other through this madness. So fear leads to anger. Anger leads to wars, leads to hating immigrants, leads to hating. What's the fucking point?
That's what they want to do. They want play different sets of people off against each other, and
so
create fear.
I think we're saying that Yoda had a point.
Absolutely.
So anyway, that was my kind of existential.
Yeah.
It wasn't a crisis. It was kind of a epiphany.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good.
I was just like, fuck it.
It's positive.
Fuck it and do a live stream.
I mean,
it's my answer.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes me think of another Dune thing. I know there's supposed to be lots of links, Dune and Star Wars.
Yeah. You said number 2 was quite good.
Oh, what, the Dune films?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed them both. There was sort of some changes on the second Dune film. But they're quite interesting ones to talk about, but obviously another time. But yeah, that's where you got the Ben Gesserit, fear is the mind killer sort of thing. So
looks like I'm snorting cocaine. It's not. It's a.
Since when has cocaine become in one of those?
No, you didn't see one of those. Like, I'm on a live stream. It just looks like I'm doing that, and it looks really fucking dodgy. But it's not. It's a fucking one of them.
We'll have to do what was it? The Last Waltz, the music concert film, the film with the band, and it had, I think it was Neil Young, and apparently he was filmed on the concert,
sniffing cocaine.
He had a giant rock of cocaine on one of his nostrils, and it had to be edited out or something.
Well, that would have been crack if it was a rock.
I don't know, maybe. But anyway, it was apparently like I think it was one of the early uses of sort of, well, not CGI but digital thing. It was quite advanced for the day.
Anyway, 18. We said, it's not going to be as long as usual. We can't shut up. On Naboo, there was an attempt to amend the Constitution so Padme could serve a 3rd term as Queen. On Naboo, there was an attempt to amend the Constitution so Padme could serve a 3rd term as Queen. True or false? True or false? Did they try to rig the elections? Right, so this is causing controversy in the chat room by the looks of it. The answer I've got here, Gary, is true. It says Anakin mentions to Padme that he heard about this, but she wanted to be a senator. So maybe it's a Mandela effect because you know a lot about Star Wars. But according to this, it says it's true.
Yeah, well, Diego Rivera was first with true.
Well done, Diego.
Yeah, well done.
Well, apparently Anakin mentions it to Padme. So well done. A bit of consternation in the chat room, but we can deal with that like grown adults, can't we? Yeah.
Well, it's Star Wars though, so you know.
I know. I'm a bit scared. I'm glad it's not a real room that we're having this conversation in.
So yeah.
I don't know, Gary. I don't have any fucking clue. Was it in the Phantom Menace? Don't ask me.
I presume that. Well, like I say, I haven't really. I do need to rewatch the prequels because
I literally just copied and pasted this so we could have something for May the 4th be with you day.
Yeah.
We'll have to do some more research, Gary. And
it sounds right. It was the Phantom Menace because that's quite a sort of political one, isn't it? Really, we've got all this.
Wouldn't surprise me that they tried to rig an election. Right, number 19. In which movie did Han Solo tell Luke about traveling through hyperspace? This ain't like dusting crops, boy. I reckon he said it in a Somerset accent too. Han Solo. This ain't like dusting crops, boy. The Phantom Menace, The Empire Strikes Back, A New Hope, Return of the Jedi. The Phantom... Oh, Christ. Oh, isn't... Oh, no, it's that one. The Phantom Menace, The Empire Strikes Back, A New Hope, Return of the Jedi. That's ain't like dusting crops, boy. My lover.
Linda forgot it was about Star Wars. She must have been very confused.
Well... When isn't Linda very confused? Right. Anybody put A New Hope, Mark?
Well, just about everyone. I do like shout outs to the old school people just saying Star Wars because, yes, for us people, Star Wars was what the first film was called.
Yeah.
So all these other ones, now they've called it A New Hope.
Bastards.
It's like, where the bloody hell did that
It's called fucking Star Wars.
Yeah, it's called Star Wars. But yes, we all know what you meant. But
who said that?
But Mari put Star Wars and
But
Diego
it was
Rivera.
a new hope.
But I mean, Gary was first anyway
with
New Hope. So
Gary said, "I reckon someone should redub Star Wars in Liz's accent." Well, that Darth Vader bloke, the one that's in the costume.
Oh yeah,
he was from round here.
Dave Prowse.
And they did actually. I don't know if this is a lie, but he did have a little go at it, and they were like, "Oh God, no!" And then got some really butch black bloke to do the voice. Am I right?
Yeah.
I think I'm right.
No, yeah, I remember him. I remember hearing him saying it himself in Green Cross Man, when it Dave Prowse.
Gary said technically when it came out it was called Star Wars. I agree, Gary.
Yeah.
What do you think we should? What should we do?
Hey,
well, it's consternation again.
No, there's no consternation. Yeah, Gary was first. I mean, if
I thought you said Diego was first with New Hope. Oh no. Gary was first with New Hope.
Yeah.
Right. Green Cross Code, Linda. See what I mean?
Yeah.
No, that's true. He was a Green Cross Code man.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. But yeah.
So the New Hope bit was added about a year after the initial release. Bloody hell.
Oh, I thought it would have been a lot longer than that. I thought it would have not been until the prequels came out. But yeah, James L. Jones was the guy that the voice that you do hear, the deep voice. But yeah, I do remember Dave Prowse himself saying, "Oh, they can't have the Dark Lord with a Wiltshire accent or something."
Here, Luke, I'm your dad. Get me a pint of scrumpy, my love.
To be fair, though, Darth Vader sounds like he needs a good pair of throat lozenges.
Does it really
anyway,
matter?
So.
Right, now we are on number 20. Bam, bam, bam. How old did Yoda live before he became part of the Force? 800, 850, 1,000 or 900 years. So basically, how old was Yoda before he became part of the Force? 800, 850, 1,900. Bomb, bomb, bomb. Oh, hi, Mab.
Hi, Mab.
Hi, Yusuf.
Hi, Yusuf.
Got all these people coming in at the end. Right. Who was the first one with 900, Mark?
That was the man, Gary again.
Gary again.
He knows his stuff.
It was the man, Gary again. He does know his stuff. So, answer 900. So, Yoda finally passes from physical form in Return of the Jedi. Yoda states, when 900 years old you reach, I got to do the voice. Shake it out, shake it out. When 900 years old you reach, look as good you will not. No, you do it. No, you do it. No, that's what you got to do. That's what we got to do. This impression.
When 900 years old you are, not so good you will look. Look as good you will
Start
not.
again.
When 900
years
He's not a
old.
Dalek.
Well, he's not whatever that was.
All
Do
right.
it again. Do it again. Do it again.
What? When 900 years old you reach, look as good you will not.
That's quite good. Let's have a competition. Who does the best Yoda?
Well, they can't do it, but
We'll do a competition. Who does the best Yoda, me or Mark?
Oh, I see, right.
When 900 years old you reach, look as good you will not. Right, you'll go.
When 900 years old you reach, look as good you will not.
So who won that? Me or Mark?
Oh, Gary said Liz just did the voice of Yaddle, who is the female Yoda.
Is there a female
Oh, I
Yoda?
don't even know that.
Mark says better. What? Oh, Margaret says Liz.
Oh,
Yusuf says you. I think I'm taking that as me.
yeah.
Mari says me.
Right.
Linda says Mark.
Oh.
What the hell, Linda? What does Steve say? Steve's the final vote. What does Steve say? Come on, Steve. She's going to say he ain't fucking here. Right, anyway.
Right.
Well done. Mark's going to have the scores on the doors.
Right. Oh, is that it?
That's number 20, Mark.
Oh, blimey. This time's flying when we're having fun.
DJ's neutral. Very safe position to be in.
Yeah. Well, I think we
Mav
know.
says we were both perfect.
Thank you very much, Mav. Brilliant. Well, the man Gary, as
Well done,
predicted,
Gary.
he's got the knowledge. But
Get
very,
to the birthday boy, says Brian. Oh, I suppose you make a point. You make a good point.
but yeah, very, very close contest. Lots of people know their Star Wars, that's for sure.
Right, Gary. Mark, type the email address. If you want a prize, send us your address. If you want to stay anonymous, tell us now, and you just get some unusual emojis. In fact, you can have unusual emojis now. Everybody give some unusual emojis for Gary. And Gary, if you want a prize, email us in there. Did Darth say, Luke, I am your father? Isn't this a Mandela effect?
Oh, one of those, is it?
Yeah, it's a Mandela effect, but I can't remember why.
Oh.
There you go, Gary. The email, Mark just typed it. Well done, Gary. Well done. Some nice emojis coming in. Right.
Yeah, well done, Gary.
So this is the part, like I say, going for... don't know what's going to happen next week because Mark's in Turkey and I don't know if... Just keep an eye out.
Well, I'm not in Turkey till I go early on the Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to have a
think.
Yeah,
anyway.
It might be another truncated version.
Truncated.
Because I might
version.
not be able to... But anyway, we'll see.
Right, now this one is usually... Mark does his chat. He is going to do his chat now. We are going to swap it around to do Mark's chat first because that's what won the poll. But this is going to be a shorter version and a truncated version of Mark's talk because it's Mark's birthday. We've got the family round and it's not going to go on all night tonight. So, Yusuf lives in Turkey.
Oh, hi there.
Mark's going there in this next Sunday. Göbekli Tepe.
Yeah, it's flying to Istanbul first and then going on the Megalithomania tour.
Wow.
So, yeah. Quran and
Göbekli
Tepe and Göbekli Tepe, but yeah, via a lot of the other great sites, Cappadocia. Yeah, be amazing. Can't wait.
So we might get a satellite link up.
Well, yeah, I'm certainly going to be sending images.
He got a new phone for his
his
situation.
Thanks to Liz and the boys. Yeah.
Happy
Thank
birthday.
you very much, Linda.
Right, so Mark is going to do his talk, but it's going to be shorter, and there's not going to be any pictures because we're going to go in a minute-ish. So I'm going to go and sit down over there.
All right.
So I'll pass this to you because I don't have to do anything, do I?
One. No. That's it. If you can shout out, if you take your phone.
Shout, what am I shouting?
Well, just someone puts something in the chat or
I'll
something.
be back.
All right.
Oh, I'll be back.
All right, my lovely.
Right.
Well,
okay.
It just sort of kicked off a while ago. Just seeing that there was a lot of mentions of X in the media, in the mainstream. I get the most prominent one being Elon Musk, of course, renaming Twitter as X. And I was just wondering what the symbolism around that could be. And we know with a lot of these things that they do this for a reason. Actually, I'm not sure if you can. Maybe I should move over here, but yeah. So it just got me to thinking about X and what the different relevances of it are and the symbolism around the name, and what was all causing it. But I found just an article on the BBC, which always makes you think anyway that BBC, if something's on there, that it's probably something to do with the agenda as well. But that was interesting that it was talking about why is there so much use of the word X for branding and for in media, films, TV series, whatever. And it was saying how it was become embraced in popular culture by brands as a shorthand for something unknown, futuristic, or provocative. But it's also talking about how malleable the symbol is, how it can stand for so many different things and seeming contradictions. So obviously, you put a kiss at the bottom of a message, it's a cross, it's an X. But also you got things like X-rated with films, and then it's symbolizing something which is well, at least supposed to be almost forbidden, or it's supposed to be a bit risque. So it's obviously got, again, it gets twisted round. So it's the film notification in the UK, where it used to be films used to be X-rated, so they're supposed to be for adults only. And apparently that always used to apply to bad language and violence, but it got picked up by the porn industry. So, and it became, again, they twisted it so it became like an advertising thing. Oh, this is XXX and everything else, because it became something they twisted around to make it the darker the better. So but another thing that seemed interesting to me was looking at this article on the BBC, and it was, getting some experts to talk about why X was a popular thing to use as a brand. And it was, of course, referring, as I say, this was all triggered by the Elon Musk taking over and changing the name of Twitter. And it was talking about how the tech industry seems to particularly have gone for calling things with the letter X. Obviously you've got the game console Xbox, Xperia smartphone. There's an iPhone X from Apple, operating system OS X. Google chose the letter for the name of its secret idea testing laboratory, first known as Google X, and now simply X. So again, and apparently there's also what they call Meta now, but Facebook, Instagram, etc. They'd apparently supposedly already trademarked an X logo as well. So there's all these different tech, supposedly competing tech brands, tech companies, but as we know, with most of these, they're basically set up by the powers that shouldn't be to false through agenda. So the idea that they're all separate companies is a bit of a fallacy. So again, the fact that so many of them are congregating around this X logo seems interesting, I would say. And one of these experts, a director of the Slang and New Language Archive at King's College London, was talking about how X is the only letter of the alphabet to not feature in many everyday words, but to also appear in multiple mathematical and technical contexts, which baffle and intrigue most of us techno illiterates. So there's the implication of something important, unknowable, and exciting, a symbol of possibility. But then this expert was saying it's approaching a bit of a cliche because so many different companies and media, etc., are using it. So it's become a little bit of a bit overused. But I thought it was interesting, maybe, that it was being particularly focused on by these tech companies, and the fact that, as was said there, it's something that's used in mathematical formulas. This is part of the mystique of X comes from algebra, where it stands for the unknown that has to be solved. And that comes with the whole rational mathematical enlightenment. So in the 17th century, Descartes designated the letters X, Y, and Z to represent unknowns, with A, B, and C as knowns. Now, I'm very unscientific and not mathematical in my thinking, really. Mine, where I'm at more, is about language, story, that sort of thing. And it's X is obviously of importance there as well. I'll sort of go into that in a minute, but it's sort of interesting to me in a way that it's it's important for this, in this scientific rationalism, which we know is sort of dominating the world that's our world now, and obviously that's come up from those Enlightenment times, and where science is seen as being dominant over, if you like, the spiritual or the creative. But yeah, out of those three letters which are designated to represent unknowns, X has emerged as the dominant symbol of mystery, conjuring the strange, the alien, the exotic. But I thought it was quite interesting in a way because it's connected with this idea of science, which has become the dominant way of thinking, if you like, and almost like a new religion. But at the heart of it, it's an unknown. It's something that's unknowable. So I think there's some interesting points to that. In one sense, I suppose it's like, perhaps, well, I suppose it could be said that really highlights that science should be about the fact that it's ever changing and that you can't maybe pin things down to know for certain, and say it's frozen, and as they do now, where they say the science is settled about so many things, and basically they're just saying that people can't argue with it, and even if they very scientifically saying that the establishment position is incorrect, that's not accepted. But what science should really be about is exploring the unknown and being accepting that things can change. But also, to me, it just comes as part of this, that modern life is increasing, they're making it about uncertainties. So although they say, oh, the science is settled, science will control everything and make life better, in actual fact, there is this chaos still within life, which they can't control. I hope, can people still quite right, DJ, so can people still see me? I'm not sure if I've disappeared off the screen or not, really, because I've lost the main computer screen. So can you still see me? Brilliant, thanks, Gary. Just had a moment there when the screen changed in front of me and I was worried that everything had got lost. So I think there's two concepts there, as I say, with the scientific and how that's predominating, but also, like I mentioned about X in the media and in films and things like that, and when you've got the symbol, okay, it might be a bit outdated now, thank you, of X-rated.
Pass me that so that we can see you on the screen.
Right. Okay. It's this idea that of, again, something they're pushing now and they have been for some time, and about how they're making the media darker, and obviously in terms of sexual content and pushing these idea of, you know, different perversions, and it's all part of the destabilizing of society. So again, you've got X as being a symbol for that. Again, though they changed the film classification, so now in the UK it just has an 18 age related certificate. They just got away with that symbol X, but it still, I think, is in the consciousness that and certainly it was from, I don't know when X film certification came in, but I'm thinking if it was something like the 60s, 70s, so it was around the time when barriers were breaking down in film and, you know, Hollywood. We've obviously talked about the dark side of that before. So it seemed to me a lot of negative connotations around X. And when I was mentioned it last week, just started talking about what it could mean, and Israel Diego Rivera came in and said, could it be referencing Planet X? And I was like, oh yeah, of course, why didn't I think of that? And so much that's in the media is about the idea of, again, apocalypse, dystopia, things coming to an end. And of course, Planet X is such a, well, it's an ancient concept, but as people know, there's know better than me, there's the Planet X. Does it refer to it as Planet X in Revelations, or is it they just refer to it as Wormwood in there?
Yeah.
Or Nibiru? Yeah.
Wormwood.
But
Wormwood.
this idea. So there was it Zachariah Sitchin who did translations of ancient Sumerian tablets, which are supposed to be, you know, the earliest civilization, and referred in there to Planet X. I found one website where it was talking about Planet X, talking about symbolism being very central to Freemasonry, and saying that initiates to Freemasonry, we'll see there's an ancient link to the Freemasons and Planet X that involves the Magi connections. Now, I'll look into this a bit more, but this did come up when I was looking through the alchemy book, Jay Widener, Vincent Bridges, and when it was going through all the ancient, the old religions from Hebrew, Christian, Muslim, and obviously the Magi around the nativity story, the three wise men who bring the gold, frankincense, and myrrh. But apparently the legends of in a certain society there, where there were sort of generations of these wise men that was passed from sort of father to son, and it went on for generations with these wise men, and they were they would go up on a certain mountain at a certain time every year and look for a star, which would symbolize there was going to be this prophet or some sort of divine presence on earth that would manifest, and then eventually see this star, and that's what leads them going to Bethlehem. But in this other sort of older legend, it's something that happens over years. They make this journey, and I say it's like generations waiting for it. Obviously, that all sort of got compressed within the classic nativity story that we sort of grow up with in Christmas. And it was just, it happened. The three wise men see a star, and they'd sort of get on their donkeys and in Bethlehem within a few days. I've probably completely, Liz might be able to correct me with the nativity, but as I say, there was an older legend of these magi. So that connects again. There's so many with these with the stars, and like I was saying with the and I will eventually, I promise you, get up the second part of my talk, which unfortunately we didn't get on there saved. But this cross at Henday, which Falconelli talked about in the reissue of the Mystery of the Cathedrals, Widener and Bridges have sort of done a lot of very, deep research on that, and they believe it's referring to a great cataclysm that happened thousands of years in the past, and that links in with a lot of the things that Graham Hancock has done, and with Randall Carlson, and there's things on Jay Widener's Reality Check YouTube channel. He reads through the whole book actually, but also there's some interviews he does with Randall Carlson. So obviously Randall Carlson's a catastrophist, I think, or he refers to himself or something like that, looking at this scientific evidence that there was indeed a huge catastrophe thousands of years ago, and they call this, it was around the Younger Dryas period, and this, there's lots of scientific proof, geological things they can tell that there was this huge dramatic event. And what they say was signaled by this cross at Henday in France was that they thought that it was almost like it was signaling for a future time when there would be another cataclysm. Now the book came out I think about 20 odd years ago, so I think they were saying it was going to be within a 20-year period from about 2002. So obviously, luckily, we've come out of that. But I suppose the other arguments where there were certainly major shifts have happened, whether it's within our society, but also things like the magnetic pole shifting, which is indeed happening at a really fast rate. Things like that. So there are great changes happening. And Jay Widener, obviously, hearing him talk now, he's like, well, obviously it has gone outside this period that they were speculating in the book. The reason that they used this calculation, part of it was on the cross of Henday, which has what you would consider the Christian cross, like the two straight lines. within that cross, there was also smaller crosses, the diagonal cross, and they were talking about in that book the difference that the St Andrew's cross, which is the diagonal lines, which of course is like the letter X, and that being an ancient symbol for, I think, the equinoxes, and how the different equinoxes mark time through the year. So how they were talking about how the cross worked, and I'm sorry I can't do it justice now, but they go into a huge amount of detail in the book. But also, as I say, on Jay's Reality Check channel, there's a lot of information on there as well, which is very interesting. But they use this these crosses and other indicators, verbal indicators as well as symbolic indicators, and they think they nailed it down, that's what this cross was predicting anyway. Now, what they were looking at, they thought that the cataclysm was something, it was pointing to the center of the Milky Way galaxy, and they're also referring to a scientist, Paul Lafayette, who has done a lot of work, where he believed thousands of years ago there was this huge pulse of energy, like a supernova, something that came from the center of the galaxy, and this would have resulted in, you know, huge, whether it's meteorite showers, magnetic shifts, all these things that would have completely ripped apart the surface of planet Earth and caused this great destruction on the society, any sort of human society at the time. And they had this, apparently Fulcanelli, when he was writing about it, talked about a double catastrophe. And in the pedestal of the Henday Cross, on one side there's this sort of angry sun, as they describe it, in engraving, and on the other there's an 8-rayed star, and they were suggesting that this was like the double catastrophe, and the 8-rayed sun was maybe this sort of supernova, and that, as they were, this recent scientist was talking about how sort of space dust from this galactic event would have covered over our sun, and then that would have eventually led to a further, whether it was like solar flares, solar activity, meteorites. So that would have been the second catastrophe. So it would have been a double catastrophe, the first sort of supernova, and then later on its effect on our sun would have caused further disruption. So with the planet X, I suppose that's, well, I think they were, maybe Randall Carlson was talking with Jay Weidner, and they were thinking that maybe Planet X, like within Revelations, when it talks of things falling to the earth, a star falling to the earth, and that was maybe referring to, you know, a giant meteorite, as has been discussed before, of how that could cause a cataclysm. But whether that could have been as a byproduct of this supernova and this galactic event from the center of the galaxy, so that the two could have been linked. But the other idea is this Planet X, that there's potentially a quite a large planet that is on a sort of a larger orbit, and apparently there is there has been scientific studies of this. Two planetary scientists, Konstantin Batygin and Mike Brown of the California Institute of Technology, or Caltech, in Pasadena, created a new working orbit simulation on a computer. They suggest the size of Planet X is actually nearly as big as Neptune, making it almost 60 times bigger than the Earth. And the orbit of this theory will place it at 15,000 years. So I think every 15,000 years it would come into the vicinity of Earth, come into our solar system. So they were saying the size of this planet would be a close match to the translations that Sitchin did of these Sumerian tablets. But I think in those translations, he was talking about it, the orbit, about it coming around into the solar system every sort of 3,000 years or so. So that would be a lot shorter time period than this calculation they did in this science, more recent technology. But again, there's all these links of symbols. This article I was looking at said that Sitchin associated this winged disc symbol as a sign for Planet X. And he said that during the very early times of Sumer and Assyria, it was actually representing God to the people using it. And it was often depicted above the sacred tree and flanked by Anunnaki. And this site on Freemasonry was saying that Albert Pike wrote that this symbol, Ahura Mazda, is a secret meaning to Freemasonry. So I think what I was talking about with the Jay Widener book, obviously not just that, many other things, and all, you know, with the megalithic sites, like I was talking about Hugh Newman, Andrew Collins, their research with Göbekli and Karahan Tepe. There are definitely alignments there again, and these were 10,000 plus years ago that these were built, and this is pointing towards a line towards the center of the Milky Way again. So it does suggest again, you know, much earlier than the texts and legends, even from ancient Egypt, that there was this, that they were conscious of something from the center of the Milky Way galaxy. So possibly this was maybe they were sort of praying that this didn't happen again, this cataclysm that they were aware of, or it maybe been passed down to them from generations before. And this idea of Hancock's, where, you know, this cataclysm that happened destroyed an Atlantis type super civilization of the past, and then the few survivors were sort of splintered out amongst the world, and then they passed on a lot of knowledge about, you know, science, technology, agriculture, etc., which was then led to these previous hunter-gatherer civilizations in these places suddenly having this capability of building these amazing megalithic sites, things like Göbekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe, you know, as I say, which have come up and still, like conventional archaeology saying, well, the people around in that time were just hunter-gatherers, and now they're trying to fit in. I was reading something where they were trying to fit in now the fact that these Göbekli Tepe and Karahan Tepe were in a civilization was hunter-gatherer, and they were sort of like, oh, they were hunter-gatherers, and then they decided to build these incredible sites, and then from that they thought, oh well, we need to now develop agriculture so we can. It just seemed a bit, you know, how could you just suddenly make a leap from being hunter-gatherers to building complex sites, which would demand a lot of scientific knowledge as well as logistical about how you could make them without sort of technology. And you know, so many of these sites, some of the skills and way they were able to cut and fit giant boulders and together, and that have lasted centuries. And it's, you know, people now with so much sophisticated technology just couldn't do it, and just, you know, not sure how it was possible. So that to me suggests that there was a a greater civilization. But of course, many other people also think that this technology came from space. So again, you got the idea of everything pointing towards the stars. And I was interested in it, obviously, with X being a letter. So many. Excuse me. Just have a look at my sigils, ciphers, and scripts book with lots of fascinating information about early forms of writing, of language. But one of the things is astrograms, and this is not I don't think the accepted academic view of how language formed, but it's the idea that they the actual letters, some ancient letters themselves, were modeled upon constellations and groupings of stars or heavenly bodies that they could see in the night sky. So I'm sorry, I know you probably won't be able to read this. It's probably not very good, but maybe if you just look, I mean, probably a lot of people in the chat are aware of these things already, but it does seem at right at the basis. It seems to make sense to me, especially as these ancient sites, their art or the carvings of symbols on the stone, and alignments, obviously very much incredible scientific knowledge to know these alignments, where it would, things like with notable sunrises on solstice, and marking equinoxes as well, how stones will be aligned. And obviously now back to our day now, often still these alignments are in place. But also you've got things where certain things where in terms of the alignments of constellations and things like that change over the centuries, but they've got all these amazing technology now where they can see how the sky was so many thousands of years before, so you can do how things would have been aligned at the time. But it as I mentioned before about the about X being or the St Andrew's cross, which is in the shape of the X, being aligned to the, or representing the different equinoxes. And as I say, and they were saying, if you put the St Andrew's cross on top of a St George's cross, then you get this 8 pointed star shape. And as I said, on one of the faces of the pedestal on the Great Cross of Henday, it's an 8-rayed star. And apparently the Templars symbol, which they had on their shield, etc., is this 8-rayed it is 8-rayed star, but with the bits filled in. But it comes from that the St George's cross and the St Andrew's cross opposing each other. Now I don't know. I'm imagining, obviously, that it won't have always been called St George's and St Andrew's cross. That's probably something that's come up in more recent times. But then again, we've obviously had St George's Day against recently, and there's so much again around there with the connections that we've talked about before, the Crusades, the sort of Holy Grail idea, and not that that's particularly associated with St George, but I think of it again as being around the Crusaders and linking them up to the sort of Knights of the Round Table, this idea of a chivalric order. But around the the idea of X being associated with the extraterrestrial or space. Obviously, we've had that more recently with things like the X-Files. And again, I haven't had a chance to go through it in depth, but he's done so many. But the Dark Journalist has done a whole series on X, and I've only really started to look at it. But again, I think he was talking about, I think it was Eisenhower, supposed to have had allegedly some sort of time capsule buried somewhere, which is supposed to be open sometime in the future, and he called that, that was symbolized by an X. And I think someone else, another president, a later president, I think Nixon, had something like a sealed envelope, again only to be opened sometime in the future, and that was referred to as X as well. And obviously then, in a fictional sense, this idea of government knowledge about extraterrestrial life and suppression of that information and all things around that got made into a fictional series on the X-Files. And I'm sure there's a lot in there. I think actually the Dark Journalist was talking about, there was actually people in the chat will probably know better than me, but there was actually someone with the surname Scully who was quite prominent in some sort of government American sort of covert type of intelligence thing, possibly connected with something around the extraterrestrials. And obviously they took the name Scully was for one of the main characters in the X-Files. So and there was also something not to do with the letter X, but I think Nixon had some nuclear site, and I can't remember what they called it, but something to do with Nixon's bunker or something like that. But it was actually shaped pretty much like, almost like or at least part of a pyramid. And they were sort of speculating, why would he choose? I mean, well, it could be any sort of shape, but they sort of chose to have it in that. And there's these references again to the ancient world and to ancient Egypt and all the origins of all these myths and legends. I think was it the mention well in that Dark Journalist about, is it Janet Dixon, who was a well-known psychic? Let me just remind myself what the name was. Jean Dixon, sorry. She was a psychic and astrologer who was linked with presidents from Eisenhower to Reagan, and apparently very influential with Nixon again. Oh, that's at Nixon's Pyramid, with a North Dakota nuclear missile site. I think they were just saying that she was very interested in the UFOs, and of course other psychic phenomena and astrology. But it was interesting that she was very, it seemed like a succession of American presidents were incredibly interested in what she had to say, and she had seemed like a inside track to so many presidents. So I guess, like I say, I'm only just really dipping in on things on this talk, really, different like concepts of where things might go, but so many things seem to be pointing to space again. But I wanted to sort of take it back slightly, because all this talk about darkness or the unknown, and if you like, a sort of scientific rationalism, but also a possible sort of cataclysmic end of the world type scenario. But another little story from our friend Pete, and again, there was Pete who had the story that I mentioned in the Stanton Drew talk, where someone started talking to him as he was wandering to Stanton Drew, and then mentioned, "Oh, I had a dream about a castle door that a DOR that he thought was in Wales, like had lots of gold, or was a golden castle, and it was all just like a strange, otherworldly." And then he just sort of walked off. But funny enough, as that come in, I was looking at the Megalithomania website and talking about the talks that have been going on this weekend, and there was one of the chaps talking. It just suddenly struck me. I think it was after I did the live stream last week, and he was talking about how he was going to reveal this sort of revelations about the importance of Castle Dore, so Dore, which is in Cornwall. And that would just seemed another little synchronicity. Sorry, I've just gone on for a little bit of a tangent there, but I'm going to be very interested to see when it comes out on. It often goes onto YouTube. The Megalithomania talks after a certain certain time, but the Howard Crowhurst was the megalithic solstice line of southern England is his talk. But as I say, it was something he stumbled upon, and it was around this Castle Dore in Cornwall. And right, DJ, so sorry, I can't follow the chat, but I just caught sight of Cornwall does have ties to the Arthurian legend, which of course it does, and yeah, it just made me think again, like I was saying before, it's interesting, all these sort of crusader powerful families, the was it Bonneville, settled around Stanton Drew and owned the land around there, and of course that's the nearest stone circle to Glastonbury, and we know all the connections there. I've just gone off on a huge tangent. But basically, my friend Pete, another little synchronicity, and Pete himself has done a talk in Glastonbury about synchronicities. He done a walk to somewhere, and I forget where, but he was doing, as he often does, dowsing, following the Michael and Mary lines and where they cross. And the place he'd been to, I think this is more towards the Norwich area rather than in this part of the world, but he said where the ley lines crossed, there was like some large twigs or branches forming a cross in the exact place, and he said he wasn't sure if someone had put them there deliberately or if somehow they'd ended up in that position just randomly on the ground. But literally, I got that email again after I'd been talking to you guys about X. Just another little of many synchronicities. But as Pete said, when he mentioned that, it made him think of the rune, the Gebu rune, which is represented by the X shape, symbolizing the joining of two forces or energies. And I suppose in a way you could think of that in a sort of scientific sense as being a crossing of energies. Of course, another X is also the sign for multiplication as well. This symbol reflects the essence of Gebo, sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, which is the balance and union of opposing forces, such as giving and receiving, or masculine and feminine energies. The X shape also conveys the idea of a meeting point or a crossroads, emphasizing the importance of connection, partnership, and unity. It's also strongly associated with the principles of giving and receiving. The rune teaches us that a balanced and harmonious exchange of energy is essential for maintaining healthy relationships and fostering personal growth. By giving generously and receiving graciously, we can create a cycle of abundance and prosperity that benefits everyone involved. Gebo encourages us to be open-hearted and generous in our interactions with others, while also recognizing and appreciating the gifts we receive. The Geber rune emphasizes the importance of balance and equilibrium in our lives. So this, to me, and it obviously comes from Norse mythology, the gods were known to bestow gifts upon their followers in order to win their loyalty and devotion. So it's connected to this idea of divine gift giving, the blessing and favors bestowed upon us by the gods. So I guess the gods is another, I suppose you could say again, from coming from the sky. And also many would say potentially that what were regarded as gods by ancient people were in fact from another world. But I keep an open mind on that. But I like that idea. To me, that's that old runic symbol, the same shape, but it's and of course these things have all got different names to them. They're not all called X, but that symbol, that basic symbol, and as Pete said when he just saw him crossing in the ground, it's almost like one of the most basic symbols that can just literally be formed by two branches falling on the ground in that position, and it forms that X. But it, again, potentially a book on runes that I read, and it was associating this symbolism of a gift and relationships and positive energy to why we do mark with a cross if we're giving indicating a kiss at the end of a message. And that comes, this book was saying, which makes sense to me, that's the origins of why we do that for a kiss. And it's the idea of exchanging a positive energy between people. Well, it can be a physical gift, but also just this gift of energy, of love. So I was sort of struck by that in a way, because it seemed like I was saying at the start, how X seems to be, how it's been taken up now, often by the people that shouldn't be in power, is this sort of representing this hard science, technology, and obviously Elon Musk is very much all this. Yeah, technology is gonna save us, and obviously he's got all his other X brand, and again that's connected with space. SpaceX, putting satellites in the sky, but it's crisscrossing the sky with this satellite system, with this grid, with all these, I would say, potentially bad energies, and also like a bars, if you like a blooming barbed wire fence, and it seems where it's symbolizing the unknown. It's where they want to take us, or they want to control what's the unknown, and what I would say, the spiritual, but there's something that's unclassifiable in the material world. They're wanting to control that, as well as everything that's on the material plane. But to me, going back to that Norse mythology, this old alphabet, I like to think of that as maybe, if we go back to that, as a lot of what we're about, isn't it? Try and go back to the old ways, if you like, the pagan ways. Maybe again a more negative use of the cross. Constantine, the first Roman emperor who made this sudden conversion to Christianity, when previously the Roman Empire had persecuted Christians, and then all of a sudden he made this conversion, and supposedly he'd seen, I think first of all it was like in a dream he saw, not sure which came first, but he was supposed to see like a vision in the sky, I think of a flaming cross, and and then he saw it in a dream as well. And there's something, if it was on his, I think it's supposed to be Christ that came to him in the dream, like as if if Christ was an actual person, let alone a son of God, that he'd be saying, oh yeah, if you put this on your battle standard, you can kill more people and be more powerful. Yeah, that's obviously what it should be about, shouldn't it? Spirituality. But so from this, he had this cross put on his battle standard that they went into battle. So when he became emperor and sort of won out over his competitors, and, and a lot of what was said, he actually did the Christianity change because it was a sort of a political move to get certain people on his side to enable him to get that victory. But in terms of the symbol, this sort of flaming cross, again, like an X, but that taken from the Greek letter, which is I'll probably mispronounce it, but chi. But that again is that X shape, and that was supposed to be for the first letters of Christ's name, but it was superimposed on Rho, I think it's called, which is sort of like a capital P shape in our alphabet. So it's sort of a cross with a thing coming out of the top of it. But to me, again, that's making this cross into, although it's supposedly representing something spiritual, the Christian, this change to Christianity, in actual fact, it was about stamping his authority. And actually, like I was saying before, all these ideas where there's I still believe maybe at the heart of a lot of these religions and secret societies, there was, a thirst for knowledge and wanting to maintain knowledge and get to the soul of things, for want of a better term. But then it became trampled upon and stolen and made into this warlike power thing, and then completely squashing whatever spiritual or knowledge or love or anything like that should have been at the heart of things. And of course, that's what this change became, because with the Roman Empire adopting Christianity, it became, this Roman Catholic Church, and it just became a force for oppression. And, many more atrocities were then carried out in the name of Christianity, supposedly for Christianity, for Jesus Christ. It was, killing and slaughtering many more people. And literally it was just about grabbing more and more power for these people. And so I don't know, I wondered if part of it's just transplanted now, and what these people like Musk, etc., are doing with putting SpaceX, X in the sky, X in charge of our media. Again, this is language, the time of communication. Obviously Twitter, as was one of the prominent forms of this social media. And as I say, potentially also Google and Facebook, who have also Meta, which they changed the name to. I think isn't that a Greek letter or something like that as well? So there's another sort of reference there back to the ancient world and to ancient alphabets. To me, it may be, again, they're just like Constantine did. They're using the X to try and mark their territory. But as with so many things where they take a symbol which means something positive, certainly as in terms of the rune Gebo, it was very much positive and about exchanging energies and a crossroads. I think it was supposed to be on some sort of crossroads that Constantine had his vision. I might be wrong there, but again, you've got this idea of things being at crossroads, where humanity is a giant crossroads now, and they're obviously trying to engineer a certain path for us. But me, forever the optimist, I'm gonna say that we need to try and reinforce the runic meaning of X, and X marks the spot where we've got to stand our ground, and it should be about what we're doing now. You know, we're exchanging energy, and you know, like Liz was saying, that idea of just positive energy, whether it's giving just a gift of just being friendly, or just exchanging some encouraging words with people, just solidarity, but idea of exchanging energies. And that you could, like I say, so that's a scientific thing. Obviously there's all this science around moving and controlling energy, but it's about dominating it, rather than a reciprocal exchange, which is positive for both sides. So what we need is to maintain as much as we can our love and exchange on positive energy, and hope that the crossroads goes down the right path for us. Thank you for listening. I'm probably rambled again, and I'm sorry that I can't oh she's there in the chat, and she's coming back in live. And
we have got treacle tart.
Oh, living
as
the
a
dream.
gift.
Ray.
Christmas treacle tart.
Christmas, is it?
No, birthday.
It's Christmas already.
Birthday tart. We got birthday tarts.
Oh Christ, blimey, that's a development.
It's me.
Oh blimey, right.
Right,
Are we
Connor.
going to wind it up?
Wind it up.
Thanks guys for listening and sticking with us as
And the
always.
card.
And I love the card. Thank you so much. It was very thoughtful. I don't know, Liz managed to get it all around the country and to New Zealand and America and everything, back in time for today. But anyway, it was much appreciated. And I'll look back through your comments later. But yeah, just wanted to thanks for the kisses, Linda, or flaming crosses, whatever they are. And Brian,
Positive. She's been positive.
Positivity.
Yeah, reclaim the X.
Yeah, reclaim the X.
Thanks, guys.
Kisses.
Oh, bye. Connor says, "Come and say bye over properly.
Bye.
Come here and say it.
Bye.
Come here and say it.
Bye.
Connor,
I can't.
there he is.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us.